So I would say the people or your team is not just the employees within your firm. It's your employees. It's maybe subcontractors. It's your customers. It's your vendors. It's all encompassing, and that's who makes your firm what it is.
Today, we are privileged to have one of my Intuit ProConnect Tax Council members with us, Caleb Jenkins of RLJ Financials. He is a next generation, younger enrolled agent and really just an awesome best practice sharing professional. He has been on so many lists, it's kind of hard to put them all on there, but he serves on several customer councils for ADP, for Divvy. He's been on the 40 under 40 list and top 100 ProAdvisors. And we are privileged to have Caleb with us today. Welcome, Caleb.
Hey, Jim and Robbie. It's great to be with you again today.
Awesome. Looking forward to get started today. Robbie, what is our topic today on TaxProTalk?
Excellent. Today we're going to cover people. That does include our employees, our clients, and our vendors. Let's get started. Growing the people on our team, our customers, and our vendors, do you mean just developing?
Yeah, on the people side, yeah. So there is it's how we respond to the people on our team. Do we treat them as people or just as machines? Do we and then also thinking about our team as not only the employees within our firm, but also our team is our customers, and so we got to have the right customers. We can't just have every customer, because that can create a negative atmosphere if you have a wrong customer. And same thing with the vendors that you work with. And that's something that not maybe everybody thinks about, but developing the relationships with your vendors too. Because if you have a good relationship with your vendor, that vendor will respond to you, in my experience, a little bit better and do what you need them to do for you. If you're always negative towards a vendor, which there's times to be negative potentially, but you need to build that trust to be able to be negative, to shift into that atmosphere.
And I think too, as tax professionals, your work certainly hasn't decreased. And I would say in most cases, it's increased tremendously, yet our teams are under stress and anxiety and just tons of distractions. So has your firm sort of reduced expectations around productivity and sort of adjusted for any of that to be respectful of kind of what some of your employees are going through?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not as good as what we should. There's always opportunity to better. But I think we've historically never been a work from home or remote workforce, whatever. We made the transition. A number of our employees worked from home for a long time, or for a number of months through this, and did what they needed to do to meet their family needs and their needs and whatever. And there's been other situations where we've, people have come and go a lot more than the traditional 8 to 5 kind of work mindset and et cetera. And there's lots of just different things where somebody's potentially been exposed to something. So tell them, hey, do what you need to do, and we can cover you and make sure that everything's good. So there's definitely been, I would say, a positive shift to that, to caring for the person, not necessarily just the outcome of the project at hand.
And one thing I've seen too, Caleb, is that in times of stress and great disruption, more communication is better to employees, to your customers. Do you have a point of view on how tax pros can communicate better with their employees and with their customers during this time to communicate the right mindset?
Mm-hmm. So I would say that the one thing is to have regular meetings, just to have a basic agenda, but to just chat with your team and see what's going on, and have even water cooler conversations if that may be the case, or over Slack or whatever, or just develop a freedom to have a conversation, but also do that on a regular cadence too. Don't just leave it as a reaction or a response. Proactively reach out and provide data and information as to how the firm's doing, what we're trying to accomplish, what is happening around you in the regulatory environment, what is so that, I mean, there's so much stuff, information and clutter that's happening. It's nice to have a central spot to go to with your team, that your team can come back to something and trust that something that they're getting the information that they need to know. They can provide to that as well. It's not just coming from the top only, or from whatever, from a singular source, but they can go to a spot and see the information that they need to know where they're at, and they can then contribute to that by responding to get clarification and whatever on regulations, on where we're at with tax season, where we need to be with tax season, where we were compared to last year, which is a bad indicator this year.
Yeah,
with one of those years.
There's a lot of different things, but regularly communicating, it takes time. It takes a lot of effort to communicate. And it has to be something that you pour yourself into actually communicating, and then you can, you won't immediately see the benefits of it, in my experience, but down the road you will have a different outcome than what you would have had you not communicated, where your team starts to disintegrate and it'll go your different paths.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
Yeah, leadership really shines during a crisis, and I think a lot of our small businesses and clients are looking to us for a little bit of, direction, confidence. I think it's, in some cases, this is a great opportunity to build your brand as that trusted advisor, the go-to source. So how are you engaging customers at this weird time that we're in?
Yeah, so, and that gets difficult too, because again, going back to communication, you have to invest in that communication, and again, it takes time and it takes effort. And for our experience the last couple of months going through COVID, we responded initially, I think, by providing lots of information. We saw it as an opportunity, and so we were like, great, this is a perfect time to actually show our value and start pumping quality information out to our clients to help them. After a period of time, well, there's so much information and so much hitting us that it gets a little bit difficult, because in our situation, we can start to pull back and just start to actually do work, or to just whatever, and fail to actually continue to build that consistent, recurring communication touch point. And so there's maybe a good time to ebb and flow with communication, but I think it's, as you stated, it's always better to over communicate than to under communicate. But what I would qualify that with is communicate with quality content. If you're communicating on a daily basis with junk content, you're immediately going to be turned off as a bad source of information, and nobody's going to listen to you anymore.
Yeah. Good.
That's so true.
All right. Great advice there, and insight there about mindset, and especially at this time. Well, Caleb and Robbie, this has been a great episode of TaxProTalk. Thank you for joining us on TaxProTalk, or #TPT. Any final words for us, Caleb?
Hey, it was awesome to be with you again today, and I hope that it's been something that your listeners can use and can pivot to use in their firms.
Great.
Yes.
TaxProTalk out.
Thank you for watching Tax Pro Talk, brought to you by Intuit ProConnect for tax and accounting professionals.